everybody, and welcome back to the Let's Learn Tech web series on YouTube. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to install and make sure that the TEC Extender is running. There's two criteria for being able to use the TEC Extender. You have to be using Google Chrome, and you have to be using the Orchil client for connecting to TEC, which is done through Google Chrome as a web browser. What an extension is for the Orchil client is it basically takes and does some of the automation of the game for you. So it takes away from having to do repetitive actions such as rotations of combat or like doing the same action over and over and over again. The TEC Extender takes some of the weight off of having to do that, so you don't have to sit here and hit up enter for like look over and over and over again. Excuse me, it would do those things for you if you tailored it that way. Two things I want to get out of the way first. Number one, if you're going to use the TEC extension, the Eternal City and 3Cs LLC, who is the company that owns it, they are okay with scripting in the game, which means you can have something else do tasks for you in the game. What they are not okay with is AFK botting, which is when you have a script that basically takes over the AI of your character and can play the game for you. There's a very fine line between these two. The easiest way to remember, am I okay doing this, is are you sitting in front of the computer monitoring it or not? If you are sitting in front of the computer and you're letting a script or if you have like a Merc client and it's doing things for you, or you're connecting through one of the other third-party systems, if you are at the computer monitoring what is happening, you are okay. You're scripting. AFK botting is when you get up and leave and the game is still being played by whatever's happening. The TEC Extender can play for you while you're not there, but only use this program while you're sitting there. The game will occasionally give you script checks, which is they will send a command to you that you either have to answer a question or they'll change something in the room so that you have to respond to it. If the TEC Extender is just running, it's not going to see that and catch it. And with the script checks, a lot of times it's a question. It might be something simple like Sally has 10 apples and she gives 5 to Benny. How many apples does Sally have left? If the TEC Extender is inputting commands for you, each command you input will be a wrong answer because the answer is 5. But you might be like making torches out in the woods and it'll input as an answer, make torch with dead wood. And so that's wrong. You have 5 minutes to get it correct or 5 attempts, I think. I haven't been script checked in a while, thankfully. Please don't start GMs. I don't need that stress. But I think you have 5 or 3. It's some number, but you get so many attempts. If you're using a script program, it'll keep attempting without, like, you'll keep getting the wrong answer. So that's why you need to be paying attention to the window and looking at what's happening. Number one, because your character could be in danger and you want to be aware of that. But number two, it's illegal. It's as far as the game's terms of service goes, it is against the terms of service to have a program that plays the game for you while you are not monitoring that program playing the game. So the TEC Extender is a good helper tool for taking some of the weight off of the things you do in game. It is not a tool to play the game for you. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that distinction. If you have any questions about whether something is right or not, post them in the comments. I will be happy to answer you. Join the Discord, ask me in a DM. I'll let you know kind of like what the left and right limits are on it. But basically, if you're sitting in front of the computer, you're probably fine. If your wife walks over and decides to have a conversation with you for, however long, and you're listening to her, but you keep checking and like I'm doing now and making sure that the extender's fine and nothing's wrong, you're okay. If you decide, hey, I'm going to go mow the grass for 30 minutes, but I'll just let this keep going, that is wrong because you're getting up and leaving the area and it's playing the game for you. So with that out of the way, that's the legality of using the TEC Extender as far as the game goes. For Thrice Blinded, he is a member of the tech community. He's a member of our stream Discord at the Jaeger BTFM stream. And he is the one who actually created the TEC Extender. So I want to give a personal big thank you and a kudos to Thrice Blinded. Thank you so much for making this TEC Extender and for updating it constantly for us. It has made the game absolutely wonderful to play. It is a quality of life change that has made the game 10 times better for me. I use a lot of the combat scripts so that I can have combat occur but I can also monitor what's happening in the room in terms of like having a conversation or interacting with other people or interacting with the enemies if story guides or GMs are jumping into them. So it's taken some of the weight off of like type enter, type enter, type enter, and feeling stressed in combat, like having to make sure I'm ready to go so that you're not losing time between actions. But this allows me to do that with minimal time loss, and it keeps my DPS high. But I can also roleplay with the other people in the room. So when I'm in a group hunt, or like the invasion of Monlan, when we were all fighting there and trying to figure out what was going on, I could watch the chat for chat or thoughts or anything else, and not feel like I couldn't respond or say something without losing the ability to fight. So thank you so much for all you do for the community, for all you've done for me. You've taken a lot of my suggestions and made them part of it, so I really appreciate it. And just a gigantic kudos to you. So if anybody sees Thrice Blinded, please tell him thank you for what he's done, and I hope you guys love the TEC Extender as much as I do. So anyway, on to the installation. The first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to point out, is if you want a verbal walkthrough or a textual walkthrough of what I'm about to go through in the video, you can find it here at the Google Doc I created, the TEC Extension walkthrough. I will put a link for this in every webpage we go to down in the description below, and you can easily just click on it, read through it, it'll tell you how to do it. All right, so if you're installing this, there's two ways to do it. There's a super easy way, and then there's a little bit less easy way, but they're both pretty easy. The first one is you can go to GitHub at the JDaily site. So it's github.com/jdaily/techext. Click on that. You're going to come to this page here. You're going to see a green code button. Just click on that. Download the zip file. And I should have a couple of them because I've recorded this video quite a few times now. You're going to click on this zip file. All you want to do is double click it and then copy this unzipped version and then put it somewhere on your computer. If you already have a TEC folder where you keep a lot of documents and information about TEC, throw it in there. If not, you can just throw it on the desktop. Or like I did, I have a TEC Extender here. I have a TEC Extender file on my desktop. Just paste it in there. So we paste, and boom, that part is done. So if you want to do it that way, you're going to close out of this, and then you're going to come up here and click the little jigsaw puzzle symbol. That's the extension manager for Chrome, if you didn't know. So you want to click on Manage Extensions, and then you want to hit Load Unpacked. What we're doing here is, the reason you hit Load Unpacked is when you downloaded it, it was zipped up, which means it was packaged, and then you're going to load the unzipped file or folder. So hit the Load Unpacked, and then navigate to where you found that folder that you had, the TEC Extender /main, and just select the folder. And boom, this is up. Now, again, I forgot, this is the third time I forgot to do this, so I'm not going to reshoot. Make sure the developer mode button right here is clicked. Sometimes if it's not clicked, you're going to see it like that. If it is clicked, you're going to see that. Easiest way to tell is if your extensions have IDs under them, you're in developer mode. But you need to make sure developer mode is turned on before you load unpacked the TEC Extender. So if you need to, just remove it. If you were following it along and you forgot, then just hit load unpacked and do the same thing. Navigate to the folder. You just want the folder, not the subfolders, because it'll pull everything in. And boom, the TEC Extender is installed. Now I'm going to remove it because I'm going to show you another way to do it. The other way to do it is to just go to regular old Google, and now from here you're going to do a search for Chrome Extension Store. Then the first link that pops up is going to be the Chrome Web Store. Click on that, and then up here in the Search the Store button, you're going to type TEC capital letters Extender. Look at that, very first one. You're going to click on it and hit Add to Chrome. You want to add the extension. It'll do its little check, and there you go. It is installed in your extensions. That's the easiest way. I would suggest doing that way, but some people like to have files where they can see where they are, or they know where they are. So whichever one you want to do it is fine. Once you have it installed, however, click the jigsaw puzzle sign again, come over here and click the little pin. What that'll do is it pins the icon right beside the jigsaw puzzle for like your extension hotbar, so to speak. And then you can just click on it whenever you want to bring the window up. Now, for us though, at this point, the extension is actually installed. But you have to close all of your web browser windows and then restart Google Chrome for it to actually work and be able to be used. Before you click on the little button, make sure you're back in the Orchill client of the Eternal City. If you click on it before, it won't load the scripts and there's weirdness happens. So just make sure you get all the way back in, which we're going to do now. Welcome back, everybody. You're going to see this. I had to take a moment because what I realized is if you actually load the extender through the Google Chrome store, it's not the most recent version of it. So if you want the one that has the communications window, you're going to have to do it manually by going to the JDaily GitHub site and installing it that way. If you don't care about the communications window and you just want the functionality of the TEC Extender and the older version of it, then you go through the Google Chrome store. But we're back here now. We have shut down our web browser. We've reloaded it, and now we're back in the game of TEC. You have to be in this Orchill client window in order for the TEC Extender to work. If you try to load it prior to logging into the Orchill client, the little extension window will load, but there won't be any scripts inside of it. And so you'll have to close it and wait till you get in this window and reopen it. So just wait until you get into game and then click on the little button. So we're going to click on the little button right here that you can see, the extensions. And this is the window that pops up. You're going to see here, now for you, what you'll probably see is there might be a big box that's like kind of blacked out part of the chat room window. And this box will be clicked. So I just wanted to show you what the screen's going to look like, but you're going to hit that, and what is up here is the communications window, which is what they're talking about right here. I'm actually going to lower it to 100 so it's not that big. I usually keep it on 200 on my gaming laptop because my font's a little smaller than what it is here, so it doesn't look as big. But with me blowing everything up so you guys can see it easier on the stream and on the YouTube series, the box looks huge if you keep it at 150 or 200, so I just back it down to 100 for this. But I would say 150 to 200 is usually what you want to keep it at. Now we're going to go through the parts of the extender and what it can do for you. So we're going to start on the left-hand side, which is communications window. This communications box up here is anytime somebody thinks or says or what's the other one? Or uses out of character, the out of character chat, you'll see it pop up in here. Let me just show you. So we're gonna say hello, and we're in the window. So there you go. It says hello, and it's going to give you a little timestamp, and it's going to pop it up in there. This is very handy if you are in combat or you're walking or something like that. So what this will do is it kind of saves it there for you. So if you would happen to be walking somewhere and you miss somebody saying in thoughts like, hey, you know, whoever you are, hello, hope you're doing well, you actually see it in there so you can respond to it. Or if somebody says to you like, hey, I need to leave, I'm really injured, in the middle of like you fighting 8 other enemies, you might miss that quick little like communication just through room spam from combat, but you'll see it up the top there because this keeps a running record. You can tell it whether you want to include thoughts, out of character, or speech up in that box. You can, if you don't want to include any of them up there, you're welcome to take it out. And then if you click any of the buttons down here, what it'll do is it'll take it out of this lower window here, and it'll only put it up there. I like having it in both, so I keep the top 4 checked, and I leave the bottom 3 unchecked. Excuse me. Okay, so now let's get into the functionality of more that this can do for you. Over on the right-hand side, you're going to see there's the send box and command, and then there's the repeat. If there's a command that you want to enter every time you click the button, use it here. So if I type in here, look, every time I click on send, it will send look to the game window. So I can keep looking. I know it's hard to see, but it's actually moving. It's because I have it adjusted just right so that when I hit look, it looks as if nothing's happening. But you can see that I keep looking and that it's going through. But every time you click that send button, it will send that command to the game and put it in for you. So instead of hitting like up enter, you can just click send every time you want to send a command if it's repetitive. If you want it to just send it for you, you can use the repeat box. What this does is it's very basic, and it requires that the action you're performing has to have what's called a round time, which means it takes an amount of time before you can do it again. So this is mostly skills in tech that you're using. For instance, if I wanted to make torches, I could make torch with deadwood, which is the command if you have the outdoor skill set. And then what I would do is I would hit repeat. My character would take, as long as there's deadwood in the room, it would take a piece of deadwood and it would make a torch, which is what that command does. Once my round time is up, the game will spit back to me, you are no longer busy. When the Orchel client sees that command come back, it enters the repeated command again until you hit stop script. So if you had 100 pieces of deadwood and you started the repeat command, it would make 100 torches after so long, entering a command every time you are no longer busy. So very helpful for repetitive tasks. Moving on, now we have the different scripts that you can run. There's one for the 3-part courses, 4-part courses. Caveat, I'm really sorry, running the courses in this game is probably the most boring thing you're going to do in tech. This makes it so much better. We'll get to the courses at some point later on in the series, and I'll show you how to use the TEC Extender for that. But just know that when you get to that part, I would suggest that you split your screen and on one half have the tech box running and Orchil, and click that run scripts 3-part courses, go to where you need to, hit run script, and pull up YouTube on the other side and watch your favorite movie, show, TV, whatever, and just keep your eye on it to make sure it's not hung, because running the courses is miserable. But anyway, moving on. Weapon and shield. If you're doing a combat script, put the name of your weapon in, and if you have a shield, put the name of your shield in. Put as much information, like I put the exact name of my weapon in here. If you just type Gladius and there's 5 Gladii laying on the ground, if you just put Gladius there, it will grab the first Gladius if you get disarmed or lose your weapon if you're an average user who uses Rapid Strike. So I would put the exact verbiage of what your weapon or your shield is in that box, and then what this does is when you're running a combat script, if you try to take an action and it says you can't do that, the TEC Extender will try to get whatever the weapon is and then wield whatever the weapon is in that box. So that's why you want it to be exact, so you don't grab somebody else's weapon or the wrong weapon. And then down here is target. So the target name is, if you're running a non-com script, non-com means non-combatant or non-combat. So if like you're running a locksmithing script, down in the target here, you would write chest and then use the vertical bar symbol and coffer. And what this would do is it would basically use chest, vertical bar, coffer, which means whatever the first thing that meets either of those criteria in the room is, it will work on that. So if you run a locksmithing script and there's a chest and then 5 coffers, it'll grab the chest first, because that's the first one in the room list. Remember, in a previous episode, we did match, and so you can do match, chest, coffer, and then you don't see any, but if there was, you would see a list of them, or you can do match period, and it'll tell you everything that's in here. So you put in the box whatever the target is that you're going to be working on. If it's a non-com, it's whatever thing. If you don't really have a target, or once you're making your own scripts, if the target is already in the command that you wrote in the script, leave this blank. If you're doing a combat script, you can, let's say you're hunting in the alleys, you can do thug, brute, dog. And then what that will do is it will target either a thug, a brute, or a dog, whichever NPC is the first one in the room. And then down here you have use kill on command, use kill command on KO. That means if you knock one of those things out, you will kill it. If you're running a non-com script, it doesn't even look at these, so you don't have to worry about unchecking it. And then continue script on walk-ins or arrivals. This is saying if you run the script and you kill everything in the room and you have another enemy walk into the room, this will like continue the script on them. If you don't want them to, you just unclick that, and then whatever walks into the room, your guy will not, or girl will not keep attacking them or doing whatever. So that's what they all mean. Pause script. Pause script will take the script wherever it's at and just stop it momentarily. And then you hit resume script and it'll keep going. If you're using the TEC Extender and for some reason your script hangs, it's real easy to kind of like nudge it to keep going where it was. So you hit pause script or resume script and then it will resume where it was. If you hit stop script and then run script again, it will start the script over. So for instance, let's say you're using a healing script that I created where it will clean and bandage every possible part of the body from head to toe. Because if you don't have an injury there, it won't bandage it. It'll just say you can't, like that part does not require bandaging. So if you get halfway through and the script hangs for some reason, you don't want to stop it and restart it because you're going to re-clean everything that you just went through, which is just going to cost you antiseptic. So what you would do is you would hit pause script and then resume script, and it would pause. When you hit pause, it's already kind of paused, but it's telling it like, okay, stop where you're at, and then it resume script will keep it going from there. As you can see down here in the little chat window, whenever you start or stop a script, it'll give you kind of like an echo in the room. So you can see I paused. It says null because I don't have any running right now. And then resumed because I hit pause and resume. If you hit run script and you actually have something in there, it'll say like started script and then whatever your script name is, the short name. And then when you stop, it'll say stopped and then the script name. So you can easily see in the window if you started or stopped or ran a script. But that is the TEC Extender window. For right now, just install it, play around with it if you need it. There's a bunch of scripts in here. There is a whole lot, as you can see, that there's just there. However, caution, if you accidentally run a combat script and start attacking things that you shouldn't, you are responsible for that. So be very aware of stopping scripts when you leave combat areas. Otherwise, you may end up getting yourself in trouble by attacking things you should not be attacking. But like I said, later on, we'll go into more in depth in this. I just wanted to get it into the system and as part of the web series so that you can download it now, tinker with it, and then we'll go more in depth later. But if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I'll get back to them as soon as possible. And I hope you enjoy the TEC Extender as much as I do. Again, thank you very much, Thrice Blinded, for creating this. Thank you to the GMs for allowing things like this to help the quality of life of us players. It's a great thing, and you're going to see the functionality of it later. Just makes the game so much easier and better to play, and it makes it so much more fun. But for now, keep playing TEC. I hope to see you all in game. Keep coming back to the web series, and we will get more and more into this so that hopefully someday you'll know about it as much about TEC as I do. So for now, though, keep playing TEC, keep having fun, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.